Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got another review. Today we're going to be reviewing this 2015 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. So as most of you may know already, the Hellcat is the highest trim of modern day, Chargers and Challengers besides the Demon, obviously. But yeah, so basically how the trim levels go for modern day Chargers and Challengers, it goes from the SXTs, which are basically V6s, up to the RTs, and then up to the SRT 392s, and then finally the SRT Hellcats. That being said, I do actually, my personal favorite, even though we all know the Hellcat is the fastest from factory, my personal favorite is actually the 392s, just because, as we're going to look at in a second, the engine that's actually in this car is actually the 6.2 liter, whereas the 392s are just a little bit bigger and they're actually naturally aspirated. It gives you a little bit more options to, go ahead and boost, I guess, a 392, and I'm sure it actually might be a little bit cheaper, as this Hellcat brand new was actually, its MSRP, its base price was $63,290. So before I get into what makes this specific Hellcat unique compared to other Hellcats, I did just kind of want to mention some factory specs. So the 2015 Hellcat came from factory with a length of 200.8 inches, a width of an even 75 inches, a height of 58.3 inches, and a wheelbase of 120.4 inches. Now, one thing that these cars definitely often get ripped on for is, they have that boat reputation. And the reason why they have that is because it basically has a curb weight right over 4,500 pounds, right at 4,575 pounds, with its actual weight distribution of 57% in the front and 43% in the back. So now this specific Hellcat is actually in the Tour Red factory color, and I really like the setup, and it just goes really well with the black accents. As you can see, the black Hellcat logo along with like the darker wheels. They're not necessarily black wheels, but again, I mean, with the tinted windows, the black roof, I just think the red and black looks so mean on this car. All right, guys, so moving on to the back of the car, as you can see, the owner actually did some, minor cosmetic modifications to this car. He basically just tinted out these taillights, which again goes with the black and red look really good. And he does have this gloss black diffuser, which is actually really cool. I honestly, most of the time, I've seen diffusers that are just flat black, including the one on the back of my car. And I don't know, it just looks a little bit different, seeing something that's like a diffuser that's gloss black, I guess. So another pretty unique thing about this car is, like I said before, it is a 2015, but it actually does have the grille, the upper and lower grille from a 2019 Hellcat. And basically it was, given to him by a friend. He basically he has a friend who got into an accident with this Hellcat, unfortunately, but the grille was completely fine. So that's kind of like this little story behind that. All right, guys, so now I'm going to be moving on to the wheel setup that this owner actually has on this car. Now, he literally a few days ago had actually Nitto radials on the back, but for now he actually just has a regular setup, not staggered or anything, literally right from the factory, the 20-inch SRT wheels that this car comes with. And the tires on it from factory are actually 275 by 40 by 20s. So that being said, obviously underneath you can see the very big Brembo brake kit that this car does come with from factory. And a real, fun fact, I guess, about the braking of this car from factory can actually brake from 60 to 0 in 104 feet. All right, guys, so now we got the hood popped on this Hellcat, and yeah, I don't really need to explain anything with this thing. I mean, underneath the hood, you can see the 6.2 liter, 707 horsepower, supercharged overhead valve, 16 valve V8 that comes with this car. Now honestly, this drivetrain hasn't been out for too long now. I mean, it's 2020 right now, so I guess maybe, I don't know when they actually started coming out with the Hellcats. Let me know down in the comments below. But I mean, again, it hasn't been around for too long, and it's already so iconic. And right now, like, the big meme is, basically Mopar's marketing team is just throw a Hellcat in it because they're coming out with the new Hellcat Durango. Honestly, I think that's good, because I think the people that are just giving Mopar crap for it are just sick and tired of seeing Trailhawk taillights and getting gapped by SUVs. Now they're going to start getting sent to Gapplebees by a Dodge Durango too. I mean, honestly, like, at that point, if you get gapped by an SUV with a Hellcat in it, like, there's nothing you can do. That's first off, but second off, you just got to sell your car at that point. I mean, there's no coming back from that. No, but really though, I mean, this owner has actually left this car pretty stock for the most part. And honestly, that's something that I really like, because most people don't realize, like, everyone wants to modify everything all the time. But something like this, a vehicle like this that has, so much development, so much engineering has gone into, honestly, sometimes it actually works out better when, you kind of leave it alone. Now, that being said, he did add a carbon fiber breather on it, a JLT oil catch can, and kind of like a custom red painted thermostat housing unit. And basically, he said that there's a different thermostat in it, so I could be wrong, but he basically says that it should be, flowing the coolant through the engine at around 180 degrees Fahrenheit instead of the regular, like, 220. So that being said, this legendary 6.2 liter supercharged engine actually produces 707 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs. And 650 foot-pounds of torque at 4,800 RPMs. Now, on top of the 6.2 liter V8 is the 2.4 liter IHI supercharger, which actually runs at 14,600 RPMs at just over 11 PSI. It's pushing from factory. Now, the engine actually flows 30,000 liters of air per minute, and it actually literally takes 80 horsepower just to drive the supercharger. So that is, I guess, one rip on it. That's one thing that, could be better if you turboed something like this, like if you turboed an engine. Basically, there's always a debate between turbochargers and superchargers, and I'm not going to get into that right now. But that is, kind of a drawback with the supercharger. Yes, you have the power instantaneously, but it actually is taking a little bit of power from the engine to actually get something like this to actually, move. Now, that being said, one other thing that I could kind of rip on this Hellcat for, and it's not just this specific Hellcat, but all Hellcats actually, they're not manuals. Everyone kind of knows this by now. They come with the 8-speed shiftable automatic transmission from Dodge. Now, yes, something might be more fun with the stick, especially, like, I feel like most car enthusiasts can agree that driving stick is a lot more fun than driving something that's automatic. But at the end of the day, automatics, especially with the new technology, like the new double clutch, triple clutch, basically all the new technological advances that the automotive industry worldwide is seeing, honestly, at the end of the day, like, you can't shift faster than some of these automatics. And that's pretty much the same for, this Hellcat. So now, that being said, I am going to take a look into the interior in a second, but I did just want to go over some factory times. So the factory quarter-mile time in, optimal conditions with regular, the stock wheels and tires on it is actually 11.8 seconds at 124.3 miles per hour. Now, the transmission that does come with this car, it does have a little bit longer gears on the top end. It has a better top end. So the factory top speed, again, in optimal conditions, is actually right over 200 miles per hour at 204 miles per hour. Now, another thing too, probably one of the biggest drawbacks of this drivetrain, again, this is something that if you're, buying a Hellcat you really don't care about, but the fuel economy numbers. So I'm just gonna go over that real quick. I know, you know, no one wants to hear it, no one really cares, but the factory fuel economy for a Hellcat is 13 miles per gallon during city driving, 22 miles per gallon during highway driving. That's surprisingly not that bad, for a combined average of 16 miles per gallon, which honestly, like, at the end of the day, for what it is, it's not terrible. But again, you're not gonna buy a Hellcat for fuel economy. All right, so now taking a look at the interior of this Hellcat, I am going to take a seat in this driver's seat. And honestly, like, I don't know if these are Recaros, I don't know what brand these are. They might just be made from, you know, SRT. But I mean, everything about like this interior is just so cool. Again, you do have the automatic, but I mean, besides that, I'm gonna start it up when I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and you guys are gonna kind of see the pretty much, again, very iconic center display, I guess you could call it, that comes with all Hellcats. So now I'm actually sitting in the seat, and I'm just gonna start it up real quick. Oh my God, that sounds so good. I don't know if the audio is good. We are gonna put the AC on, because it is very, very hot right now. The owner just showed me the performance screen. Now this is what I was talking about. Honestly, like, this is just so cool. Like, right now it's set up at a custom setting for him. And again, you could go to track, sport, custom, default, and there's even a valet mode, which I'm pretty sure bumps the power down to around like 200 300 horsepower. I could be completely wrong. Definitely let me know down in the comments. But yeah, you can literally put it in valet mode, and it can be like driving a V6 Charger, which is, again, like, mind-blowing, honestly. As you can see, the dash here and everything, and this SRT steering wheel is just really, really cool too. So yeah, you have the paddle shifters. I don't know what else there is to talk about. I'm pretty much just gonna take this thing for a spin real quick. But yeah, I mean, this thing is just, it's really, really cool to sit in. All right, so that being said, guys, I did just hop out the car real quick, because I did just want to give a huge shout out to the owner. This is his Instagram handle. So definitely go shoot him a follow. I'll have a link to his Instagram down in the description below. But again, you know, huge shout out to him for letting me drive his Hellcat today. All right, guys, so now I'm actually driving this Hellcat. And again, I'm trying to drive it like a grandma, at least for right now. But what amazes me is that, you know, you have all this power, and before I started filming, I did give it a little bit of gas, and it just immediately, it just wants to go. But honestly, like, if you're not giving it a lot, like I told the owner, it's like you're driving just a regular base model Charger. Now, yes, the interior is like super nice. The seats hold you in so good. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention is that the owner does have mid-muffler deletes on this car. He's still running the stock exhaust manifold, stock hats, stuff like that, but he is running a mid-muffler delete, so it does sound very nice. It's not too loud, but it does have a very good tone. And there's a little straightaway right here. Oh man, I have to say though, the factory tires aren't they're not hooking that good. So once the owner does get the radials on it again, it's gonna hook and book. And I mean, just feeling this car, like the way it drives, it's one of those cars that just want to go. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, especially if you're not like actually in here driving it. But oh my god, like I'm just cruising around. We're going through a park. I was doing like 10 to 15. I gave it a little bit. It's already at 35. Like, it's just, it wants to go so bad. So now we're gonna take it out on a county road here. All right, I'm leaving a little bit of space in front of me. It doesn't hook. I give it around like 70-80% throttle. I mean, the owner was emphasizing a lot about the radials that he was gonna get before, like, he was talking to me about it. Once he gets radials, this thing is going to be, I mean, it's already nasty, but I mean, It's just like it was slide, shift, slide, shift, slide, shift. It did not want to hook. So now I just went over a little patch of gravel and everything's sticking to the tires now. But yeah, I did just want to emphasize to you guys a little bit. Whenever you get in a situation like that where something just does not want to hook, let off. Don't become a meme. You see the compilations all the time, like Mustang drivers like sending it into a crowd, Hellcat drivers sending into a crowd. Right now, what's currently going on with modern day car manufacturers is literally the largest horsepower war we've ever seen in, you know, the history of the automobile. So that being said, I did just want to emphasize, you're seeing these factory numbers of like 700 horsepower. If you have the funds, if you have the money to go out and buy something like this, don't think that you can handle it if you really can't handle it. So that being said, I'm gonna give it a little bit more. Oh my God. See, like right there, I throttled it a little bit and it actually went faster than before when I kind of just laid into it. But I have to say though, I mean, honestly, another, I guess, tip, if you do find yourself in that situation, just let off the gas and let the car, you know, kind of get control again, and then you can kind of get back on it, or like you just kind of like feather the throttle, because especially like something like this, completely independent suspension, it straightens out real quick when you get off the gas. All right, now I got a little straightaway right here. Oh my God, man, that's dangerous. I have to say, it brakes phenomenal. It's dangerous, but it's safe at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have to say, like the amount of, like, this car is so refined, and that's one thing I really like about modern cars. I really like classic cars too, whether it be, you know, old school American muscle or anything really classic, because I feel like those cars have a little bit more soul, you know. But there's no beating, you know, the modern technology that's in these cars, because like I just took off and we almost hit triple digits in a matter of seconds, and it braked right back down to, like, you know, 30-40 miles per hour in a matter of no time. So now the Charger's actually set in street mode, and the reason why I switched it over is because the owner actually set in sport mode. There's no traction control whatsoever. So again, I could feather it, but now it's in street mode. We're going right back. I basically did a U-turn and I'm going right back to that county road again. Probably get one more pull in, and then and then I'm tapping out. This car is insane. So yeah, before I kind of do the last pull, I did just want to emphasize again, the owner has some stuff done to this car, like we talked about before, but this is a stock car, and you can, when they were brand new, when this specific year was brand new, like I said before, $63,000. Like, it's just amazing what they're doing. Now, I respect, I'm really like a, you know, build your car, don't just buy a really nice toy kind of guy. Like, I really respect someone who builds something. But honestly, like, with the amount of money you can get this for, this performance and this drivability, like, it's, you can't even build something, you know, with the amount of money that they're selling it for. All right, now I'm gonna do one last pull. Oh my God, I eased into that too. All right, so this isn't my car, so I'm tapping out, I'm done. I'm gonna go back to the parking lot, meet up with the owner. But yeah, I mean, if you guys enjoyed today's video, I know I did. This was so much fun driving. Now, yes, it's, I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but I do kind of feel it being a little sluggish because of the weight. It's really not sluggish though, but yeah, you do feel the weight. Now, this compared to maybe like a GT500, maybe ZR1, I don't know how they would compete. Sometimes you see Hellcats gapping GT500s, GT500s gapping Hellcats. I personally, I'm a Mustang guy. I like lightweight and power, but I mean, if you have this amount of power, it doesn't matter if the car's like 5,000 pounds. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, I did just kind of want to mention that. I'm trying to critique this as best as I can. I'm trying to like bring out the negatives. And yes, you can feel the weight weighing you down a little bit. But again, when you really get on it, there's no holding this thing back. All right, guys. So like I was trying to say before, if you stuck to the end of this video, definitely be sure to leave a like on the video. Be sure to also subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of format. I come out with all sorts of vehicle reviews, crazy vehicles like this one, modified vehicles, custom vehicles, as well as completely stock ones as well. So yeah, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.